Hello again. I'm sure that we all remember the announcement by the Co-op supermarket a few months ago that their staff are facing aggression and that there is much theft from some stores, so much so that they might have to close down in some parts of Britain. This was followed a few weeks later by mobs of black youths arranging on TikTok and Snapchat to gather in certain places with a view to launching looting expeditions. This happened in central London, the Essex town of Romford, and also Southend. This kind of thing is happening with increasing frequency, and some supermarkets are now pulling out of parts of London. The same thing is seen, of course, in the United States, almost always in areas with many black residents. On Tuesday, there was a serious incident at the original factory shop in the Essex town of Debden, which is on the central line of the London Underground. It's where I live, at least part of the time, and I thought it worth talking about this incident because it is symptomatic of what is going on in a lot of Britain now. But it's a sort of thing which is seldom considered significant enough to be reported in the newspapers or on the television. It's kind of low-level disorder that's on the increase. In the description to this video, I give a link to the Facebook page of the shop, which contains a statement which begins as follows. Hello all, we are really sorry that we have not been open today and that we closed early yesterday. There was a very serious incident in store yesterday that involved a lot of aggression and violence, resulting in some colleagues getting injured. For the safety of the team, we've had to close for a couple of days to ensure that we do all we can to keep colleagues safe. We should reopen again from Thursday. They actually closed that shop for 3 days and only reopened on Friday. The backstory to this is that youths from the local further education college make a thorough nuisance of themselves in the area, sometimes stealing from Sainsbury's, which is the supermarket nearby, and also hanging around behind the shopping parade, smoking cannabis and making people feel uneasy. The factory shop has now engaged security guards and extra staff. This is not a good development because now when you walk in, there is a rough-looking man with tattoos who stares at everybody who walks in the shop, just in case they turn out to be violent hooligans. Who do you think will pay his wages? We will, because obviously the shop will have to raise its prices to pay for the extra staff. It all makes the experience of shopping there slightly less enjoyable, and it makes for a vaguely menacing air about the place now. The thumbnail to this video shows the back of the shops on the Debden Broadway where this incident took place, and it is the main place that these youths congregate. The police know this, of course, or they should know it, and the day before the staff in the factory shop were attacked, Essex police launched what they claim was an effort to clamp down on antisocial behaviour in the Epping Forest district, which includes Debden. Their idea of what constitutes antisocial behaviour, though, differs from that of most ordinary people. For most people in Debden, antisocial behaviour means youths coming in from outside the area and going on the rob or smoking drugs on the stairs leading to the flats above Debden Broadway. I give a link in the description to this video to the Essex Police announcement of their crackdown on antisocial behaviour. What are they worried about? The piece from their website, to which I give a link, has the headline, Crime Crackdown in Epping Forest. That sounds promising, doesn't it? Then we read that, a day of action to combat issues including burglary, hate crime and speeding, saw more than 50 of our officers from the west of the country deployed across the district of Epping Forest. Well, the police won't attend if you report a burglary, so that's a joke. Speeding. Is that their idea of crime? Hate crime? Never seen anything of the kind round here. It goes on to say, on Epping High Street, officers handed out information about how to spot and report hate crime and fraud, alongside a member of the council's antisocial behaviour team. Yes, their priority is hate crime, but the priority of ordinary people is actually the antisocial behaviour. It's people coming in from outside and causing trouble. Here's the thing. Everybody living in Debden knows that most of the college students come here from outside the area and that they hang around smoking cannabis and creating an unfortunate atmosphere near the shops. Once upon a time, a police officer on the beat would have spotted them and told them to move on. If they were smoking drugs openly, they would have been arrested. But you see no police officers walking the streets now. These youths can't be seen from the street. It's only when people use the path behind the shops that they can be spotted. While the police are fretting about hate crime and checking that motorists are not exceeding the speed limit, the shopping district in Debden becomes somewhere which has a slightly lawless air about it. Just one police officer walking the beat there would put a stop to this. Oddly enough, during the COVID business, I saw 2 or 3 officers on foot at a time in the Epping Forest district, but one never sees such a thing these days. What is going on locally in this area is typical of what is happening in many parts of Britain. And the answer is to stop antisocial behaviour before it escalates, and for the police to start foot patrols again as they once did. Some local people now avoid the path behind the shops in the area, and I know a few older people that avoid the Broadway altogether at lunchtime when the college students are about. In this way, yobbos take over. Ordinary decent people tend to back off because they don't want to get stabbed up or assaulted or spat at, and their hooligan element can just take over and run riot when they feel like it. There's a very different atmosphere in that shopping parade during the summer when the college isn't here than there is when the students are about. And I'm not the only one that notices it. It's how things are. But apparently the police haven't spotted this yet.